Broncos country, day one of Broncos training camp is in the books, and we have some surprising news to talk about. I'm going to break it all down for you, what my takeaways are. Of course, I want to hear what yours are as well, so be sure to smash that like, leave a comment, subscribe if you want to be talking Broncos with me every day. But let's go ahead and dive into it from a macro perspective. There are a few big things that I want to discuss. Number one being Javonte Williams' health. Seems to me that the month or so that he's had off has been helpful for him, looking like he is returning to the form. Sean Payton's talked about how he's lost weight, how he looks lighter, faster, all very, very positive signs, things that I wasn't expecting from Javonte Williams, honestly, to hear opening up training camp. I think that's very, very good news. I think Jared Stidham had the best day one. That's to be expected. I think we will see Bo Nix take over this starting role at some point during camp, but he's got to earn it. We also heard positive news about another guy that I have kind of been holding my horses with, so to speak, and that's Greg Dulcich. Had a very strong day, completely healthy, along with Audric Estime, healthy from his knee procedure a couple months ago, month and a half ago. Great to see Greg Dulcich flashing on the field, but let's see how long this can last. I'm hoping that it can actually last a long time. We'll see how that goes. But guys, I'm going to break down some tweets or some bookmarks that I really enjoyed. Let's go ahead and get started and talk a little bit more about those points in depth here. Of course, Zach Stevens had some great first person takes on practice today. We'll get into that, but notes we can take a look at from Henry Chisholm here, talking about how Javonte Williams looked much faster than last year. He cut weight. It was noticeable the first time he touched the ball. The right side of the line opened up a crease on a zone toss, and he picked up at least 10 yards. Love to see that. Zach Allen dominated the offensive line. He took Quinn Miners and Ben Powers for rides, okay? This isn't surprising, stuff that we expected. Cody Barton and Jonas Griffith are splitting snaps at that inside linebacker starting position. We'll see who establishes themselves as that starter throughout camp. Quiet day for the quarterbacks, and that's okay. You know, this is the acclimation period. I think the first practice, maybe on Friday, is the one that's open up to the fans. That's when we're going to see kind of intensity pick up. Greg Dulcich made a couple of catches. Most importantly, he looked explosive. The backup defensive front beat the depth offensive lines easily. Very interesting. I think that was something that we couldn't say last year. We were very thin at the defensive line. So credit to Henry Chisholm for putting that out there. Of course, we have some photos here that DNVR took, and Sean Payton was in a much better mood today. Even mentioned in the press conference how you can't forget about the work that somebody like Lucas Kroll's putting in. The whole media room got a laugh out of that. I got a laugh out of that too. Maybe Sean Payton just woke up on the wrong side of the bed or something like that. He was in a much better mood today. Here's a look, thanks to Zach Stevens and Javonte Williams, running through some drills where they're using the garbage bins, taking the trash out, as somebody said on Twitter, trying to remember. But not too much, in my opinion, that we can take away from this, other than what everybody has been saying in the media, that he did look more explosive, a little bit faster today, lighter, all of that. Cortland Sutton looks like he's not getting what he asked for. Again, I mentioned this yesterday. It seems like he's just going to play for what he signed for. He's got the majority of his contract non-guaranteed, and so maybe that's why he didn't show up to the voluntary portions of the offseason training regimen. But he's here now, and as long as he stays healthy, he should get that $15 or so million that I believe he's on the hook for salary-wise. Zach Stevens also said Javonte Williams lost weight this offseason after having a conversation with Sean Payton where Payton pointed to Javonte in the past and said, I want that. Yes, Sean Payton talked about this in his press conference, even went back to watching him at his University of North Carolina days. So right now, Javonte Williams is right around 220, 221 pounds. Wow. So maybe this is the key. And when you weigh less, when you're lighter, you're going to put less strain on that knee. Todd Davis, that's right. He is an intern. I forgot that he had a cup of coffee with the New Orleans Saints and Sean Payton. So making the transition from Denver media to coaching intern, much like Orlando Franklin or Chad Brown have done with Denver media recently. And yes, this is the clip. I'll let you guys find out. I don't get deemed for copyright, but Rachel V. Hill posted this. Yes, now the Lucas Kroll bit is an inside joke for all Broncos fans in Denver media. Very funny. I loved it. Mike Kliss saying Javonte Williams has lost weight. Here's a clip of Greg Dulcich making a nice cut there. We can continue to watch that on the first day of camp. Maybe some of you guys that can break down running gates can let us know in the comments, does his running gait look different compared to last year? Because that was one thing that he's been working on all offseason. And here we have a clip of Bo Nix. Of course, we want to see Bo working the checkdowns, the flats. All of that is imperative for a successful Sean Payton offense quarterback. And then that opens up the deep shots, right? And then here's some more of Javonte Williams catching a pass here from Jarrett Stidham. Looking comfortable. And hopefully we can see Javonte stack days like this, and we can put to bed any worry that I still have that he just might not return to form. But this is a great positive sign. I don't think you can make it too much of a big deal out of this, but it is surprising nonetheless to hear this from day one. You want to see him stack days. Sean Payton mentioned in his press conference today that he doesn't need older guys like Tim Patrick to flash every single day, but you want to see it every few practices. Coming back from those significant injuries, I imagine since Javonte is significantly younger, the expectation is that he will bounce back in greater form. You want to see that. So Ben Albright putting here in other Broncos news, the Javonte Williams obituaries were hilariously premature, took first reps in every drill. I think P. Ryan has the toughest climb. And that's what we were talking about, I think, on Sunday. Just that Samaje P. Ryan, if Javonte can return to form at least a little bit, I think you are going to see P. Ryan being that guy in the chopping block, because you want to see McLaughlin here. Audric Estime is going to be on the roster, and I think Blake Watson should have a spot on the roster as well, especially with the guaranteed money that we've given him. And we can save over $2 million cutting Samaje P. Ryan, as sad as that is, because I like P. Ryan. And I think that just might take care of it. We'll see. Zach Stevens saying Greg Dulcich was one of the stories of first day of Broncos camp in a greatest way. He was fast, explosive, healthy, and the receiving threat the team hopes he can be. It would be great to have at least a couple guys in the room that we can rely on to be a vertical threat in this offense. Caught a 15-yard catch from Bo Nix in the 7-on-7. Love that. And then from Cecil Lammey, he said Javonte Williams didn't just look good. He looked very good, all caps. So that's good to hear. When you hear this from multiple media members, I think that's a really good sign. So right now, probably my biggest takeaway is that Javonte is showing the positive signs that we want to see. I'm not going to overreact too much. Greg Dulcich has made it through one practice. So that's a positive sign. And that's really about it. I'm not going to make too much about which quarterback was best or worst. I think pretty much from what I've read, it was Jarrett Stidham, Bo Nix, Zach Wilson, but I want to see Bo Nix be the best quarterback out there as time goes on. So, y'all let me know your thoughts and comments. Are you surprised about hearing some of these pieces of news? I sure was. So, I'll be back tomorrow. Be sure to hit that subscribe and bell notifications. Thank you guys so much. And as always, go Broncos.